All right, we're live. Gonna give a quick site review, guys. My name is Owen Graham, as you can see listed here at the bottom of the screen. And I want to take as little time as possible. It's pretty hard because we're trying to do a pretty thorough site review. But just want to review a quick website today and share with you some quick tips and techniques on how you can improve your existing website and make sure that it's optimized for actually selling things and collecting lead and whatever it is your goal and objective is. Now, a lot of the content is going to be fairly generic because we're just looking at your site. We haven't talked to you about your whole business and your business model and business plans. So take everything in context and just recognize that we're trying to, even if we're not your existing avatar, trying to give you a generic thing to consider that could help improve your site to speak to your audience as we understand it. Now, I took a quick look at your website, and I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so we look at your website so you don't have to look at my face the whole time. We're most likely going to look at your site. So we'll go ahead over here and share the screen and show your site. Okay. And I'll go over here to home. And the site that we're looking at is, we're evaluating today is a site called Virtual EMDR. Okay. Um, Now, I'm outside here in sunny Florida, so it's a little hot and my face might be sweating a little bit, so don't mind me. But Virtual EMDR. Okay. Now, I want to give my first impression. And that's the thing that matters to me most when I first go to a website is what jumps out at me and is communicated to me right away. And so immediately I did a little research on this kind of business, and it seems to be a virtual therapy. So it's a therapeutic method that people use to help overcome all types of addictions and different things that are stressing them. But the thing about it is, so it's a therapeutic thing, but they're doing it online. So the first thing I look at is the page, and I say, okay, for a type of therapy, I want to go ahead and I want something that's relaxing and relaxing imagery, right? And I think that you basically accomplish that, right? You have a nice sunset picture. Um, it does have some coloring that I'm not sure is truly real in terms of this purple here. I mean, that's just the way it's showing up on my monitor. It's a little got a purple hue on there. But overall, the picture is doing it has its intended purpose of calming me down. But here's the challenge. What jumps out to me right in the middle of the screen is this text, right? And the text is like a big ball that collects right in the middle of the screen. And that's exactly where my eyes go, right? So I'm trying to look off at this beautiful picture, at the boat, at the sun, at the sunset, and immediately I'm seeing online EMDR therapy. Now, that might be what you intended, but I'm just telling you that it immediately was jarring. And one of the reasons also was that it has a lot of competing font sizes, and it says online EMDR therapy, reprogram your brain, eliminate addictions, end feelings of grief and loss, um, overcome fear and anxiety, and trauma. So you might have to do some quick editing on grammatical stuff there as well. But I'm not sure this is where you want it to go. Okay. I think you need to have some sort of imagery that points me to where I can find out more right below here. Okay. So right below here, what I'm seeing is that you immediately tell me to try it for free. So you have a call to action. The call to action is great. But part of the challenge is I don't know what the call of action is for yet because I'm not so familiar with EMDR, and you haven't demonstrated to me yet on the website a clear presentation that explains what it is, or you haven't asked me to opt in yet to learn more about what it is. So putting the call to action up here is probably not real. You're not going to get great benefit putting it there. Now over here you have effective online treatments for. So you're telling me what it can treat me for, but you don't really, again, not a clear enough method or education about what EMDR is and what's unique about how it works virtually to help me, because I'm sure EMDR therapy is offered all around the country in person and maybe even virtually. So what's unique about the way you offer it virtually, and what's unique about it being offered virtually in the first place, And so the call to action is a little confusing there. Now, down here you put how it works, right? But I still think this is way too little. Way too little. You need, this is my first time coming to the page. I need to get a quick, clear, and concise idea of what EMDR is. Then next, I need to find out how it's offered by you virtually and how that benefits me, right? Um, you give a satisfaction guarantee, and that is really great because you're letting people know that, hey, I have a promise, a quality promise. And then you ask me here to sign up for your newsletter. Now, I'm not really sure if the newsletter is an afterthought, but in many cases, especially if you're driving traffic to this site, you want you want to make this prominent. You want to be able to collect my email early because a large percentage of buyers do not buy on the first touch, right? So you have to continue to communicate with me and prove yourself to me in the marketplace, and then I make a buying decision. So you want that email, you want that definitely, you want that to be prominent somewhere higher up on the page. Now, real quick, guys, again, testimonials are a powerful way to get social proof because testimonials, a lot of times people aren't really making logical decisions. They're making decisions that are emotional. And oftentimes they want to make sure that their emotional decisions are supported by other people's experience. That makes them take out their credit card and make a buying decision a lot easier. So you want to make sure your testimonials are prominent. Now you have a whole testimonials tab. Now I don't know if I would risk the testimonials, risk the idea of somebody clicking through to the testimonials versus making sure the testimonials are prominent. So real quick here, I glance at your testimonials and I immediately notice something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 testimonials, and that is really solid. It's a solid number. It might even be a little bit of an overkill. You can get by with 3 to 5 testimonials. But one thing I want to say is that when it comes to testimonials, text is better than nothing. Text with an image is better than text, and video is probably best out of all of them. Okay, that's my recommendation. So you want to look at it, and here's the thing: everybody's looking and they're trying to see, can I see myself in that person's shoes? Do they look like me? So if I was a young person dealing with a pornography addiction, as you have here, or something like that, and the picture you showed was of an old couple dealing with something, it may not resonate exactly the same. So you've got to be super clear, right, on who your demographic is, and make sure that your testimonials are actually primed for that. All testimonials are good testimonials. All testimonials aren't great testimonials. Okay, so it's something to consider. The other thing I quickly say is you might want to templatize your testimonials so that people aren't just telling you what they like, but that you get out of them what you need them, the parts that sell, right? So you want them to make sure they say they were skeptical, but they tried it virtually, right, with you. Or you want them to identify why it's different from other EMDRs they looked at or other EMDRs in the marketplace. So you've got to decide what you want to get out of a testimonial. And then when you request a testimonial, make sure that you have a template or something for them to fill out or something for them to identify, that you can pull out those pieces and say, these are the constant, consistent 3 things that keep coming out of all the testimonials. So as I'm looking at the testimonials, I'm saying, okay, wow, um, I'm pulling out some data, like they all seem to have quick results, or they all seem to have lasting results, or they all seem to have the same emotion I have, which is skeptical if this can really work online, but they found that it was more convenient. Whatever it is you want to pull out, your unique selling position, you want your testimonials geared for that. Okay, so I'm not going to get too in depth, but I'll talk about design real quick. Again, just make sure the design is matched to your demographic. So really get clear on that, right? If you're talking to this design, it's clean, it's flat, but it's not particularly colorful. It's actually rather bland. And so that could work in your benefit in some cases, but depending on who you're talking to, it also could be something that is just totally unappealing to the market. Now, I like how you have this side pop-up here by Sumo. It's a free app, and it also allows you to collect leads for a newsletter. This is a lot of verbiage over here. Sign up for our newsletter. You already said join our newsletter. Then you redundant saying sign up for our newsletter, and we'll email you the article. What article? Will EMD work for me? Which explains how online EMDR works, how effective it is, who it can best help. So you want to find a way to get a concise copywriting there where you're like, sign up for groundbreaking um, case study demonstrating EMDR's effectiveness, virtual EMDR's effectiveness. So if I'm suspicious about whether or not this works, I need to find out, and the information is on the other end. So work on the copy and work on the offer. Make sure that a news article is something that people, your demographics, interested in. They might want more testimonials. They might want a video that explains more what EMDR is, or shows it in action, or has you going through and teaching somebody online. It might be like I don't know how long your sessions are, but maybe you can show what your work is, what you do, you know? And I think that that allows people to peek behind the veil and then make an almost a guaranteed buying decision, right? So it's great that you have that there for effectiveness. Work on that offer. The guarantee is great as well because, again, it promises certainty. I'll quickly touch on like trying to find where to buy. Okay, so I mean, goodness, what good is telling me all the great things about it if there's not like a really clear call to action somewhere where I can click a buy button, right? So just keep that in mind. Have the buying prominent. I believe I found the buying over here under members. Let's see if that's the case. And if that is the case, then that is a bit confusing because, you know, in my mind, I'm saying that's the tab that I should click if I'm already an existing member. Okay, so if I'm an existing member, then why would I need to buy? Okay, so consider those things. When I look at members on a site, I'm automatically thinking, oh, I don't even click on that unless I'm already a member. When in fact, this is the only place so far that I'm seeing where you're actually asking for payment. I also noticed that it was really hard for me to get out of here. I couldn't click out, you know, I couldn't just click out, that I actually had to go back. So that kind of makes me feel like you just trapped me. So something to consider as well. I'm sure that's not the feeling you want to give your potential clients, and that might just be a technical oversight. So overall, oh, let's do a little quick speed test. I did a website speed test to make sure that your site is tested, and this is a really great site, tools.pingdom.com. Your performance grade was 85 out of 100. Okay, this was your load time. Your website is faster than 90% of all websites tested. So that's a pretty fast website. So you can, you know, pat yourself on the back for that, and just make sure that you keep on making sure your site is loading fast. And you can go through here and really see what pages are doing what. But overall, a solid website. Just make sure you take into consideration some of the things we said. And if you have any questions or anything, you can leave some comments below. All right, so take care, have a great day, and hopefully that was some value for you in your website. Goodbye.